Hey, CrossFitters, welcome back. It's Coach Bob, and my goal is to help us to be the best CrossFitters that we can be. And so today in this video, I'm going to share with you a basic principle that I learned that's called the aggregation of marginal gains. I'm going to help us to understand a little bit about what this principle tells us, and then we're going to see if we can apply this basic principle to some areas of our life together. All right, so let's jump in and learn a little bit first about this principle and how it can help us. Jumping on over. So here I have an article that is written by James Clear. Now, if you don't know James Clear wrote the popular book Atomic Habits, a New York Times best-selling book. So the basic principle was developed on a cycling team. So there was the British cycling team back in 2003. They were looking at how they can improve their overall performance. So they looked at making small adjustments that you might think about making, like, for example, redesigning the bike seats to make them more comfortable, rubbing alcohol on the tires to get the better grip and stuff like that. But they didn't stop there. They continued to try to find 1% improvements, small, tiny improvements in overlooked and unexpected areas. So they tested different types of massage gels to see which one led to faster muscle recovery. They hired a surgeon to teach each rider the best way to wash their hands to reduce the chance of catching a cold. And they even determined the type of pillow and the mattress that led to the best night's sleep for each rider, right? They even painted the inside of the team truck white, which helped them to spot tiny bits of dust that would normally slip by unnoticed and could degrade the performance of their cycling, right? So all of these little tiny things, they weren't looking for the big win. They were looking at the individual little tiny things that they could actually do that could make some improvement. So this went on. They went on to be a very winning team. Let's see, they said a little bit about that. So just 5 years after Brailsford took over, the British cycling team dominated the road, track, and cycling events in the 2008 Winter Olympics, where they won an astounding 60% of the gold medals. That same year, Bradley Wiggins, British cyclist, went on to win the Tour de France, and on and on. So they actually saw that by making small gains in across all these unexpected areas, they were able to improve their overall performance. So it's so easy to overestimate the importance of one defining moment and underestimate the value of making small improvements on a daily basis. And I think this is the part of the principle that I want to share with you, right? A lot of times we look for those small wins in life, but it's those small incremental changes that we can do consistently over a long time that add up to big wins in the end. And so too often we convince ourselves that a massive success requires massive action, whether it's losing weight, building a business, writing a book, and so on, or winning a championship. But meanwhile, improving 1% isn't particularly notable. Sometimes it's not even noticeable, right? You make a small change and you don't really notice the difference, but it can be far more meaningful, especially in the long run. Conversely, he says, if you get 1% worse each day for the year, you're going to decline nearly down to zero. And I think he has a chart here. I love this chart. So you can see, like, if you're 1% better every day, that's 1% to the 365th power, or 37 times better. But if you're 1% worse, you're going to go almost down to zero. So over a year, you can see all those small things add up. And by consistently applying those small things over time, we can see improvement in that long run, right? But if we neglect the kinds of things that we need to do and make bad decisions along the way, those things will also add up to worse and worse performance throughout the year. So in the beginning, there's basically no difference between making a choice that's 1% better or worse, right? Day one, a little bit better, a little bit worse. It's not going to show up on the scale. It's not going to show up in our performance. However, on the long run, on a daily basis, continuing to make those improvements, these things add up. Okay, so the bottom line, success is a few simple disciplines practiced every day, while failures is simply a few errors in judgment repeated every day. So all right. So we're not thinking about going in a Tour de France anytime soon, but the concept can be applied to our lives, and that's what I'd like us to do today. So there is power in small improvements and slow gains, and this is why average speed yields above average results, right? So that's speaking about consistency, consistently moving down the road versus a lot of fits and starts, all or nothing. That's not going to get us there. So here we are together. Let's take a look at what are the 1% improvements that we can be making in our lives. Okay, so guys, listen up. What we're going to do together is we're going to take a look at two areas that really can be areas that can make big improvements, right? Number one is going to be, we're just going to look at sleep, because we know and we hear time and time again that we need more sleep, or we need to improve our sleep or something like that. Or by improving our sleep, the rest, a lot of things get better. And we also know that a lot of people are not getting enough sleep or not getting a good quality sleep. So that's one area that I think is valuable for us to look into and see what we can get out of that. And the second one, we'll take a look at nutrition, because I think sleep and nutrition give us the two biggest opportunities to find those 1% changes that we can make. Okay, guys? So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at those two areas, first sleep, then nutrition. And we're just going to take a look at these tips that I have, and we're going to see which one of these can be that 1% for you and for me. Okay? So let's just jump on back. Yeah, okay, so let's go to first looking at sleep. So we're going to take a look at 15 things to consider if we want to get a better night's sleep. This is put together by Headspace. Headspace has an app that you can use to really meditate and whatever. So tip number 15, I think, is to get the Headspace app. So we won't worry about that. This YouTube video is not sponsored. Okay, so 15 things. Let's take a look at them. 5 tips to create a restful environment. So they start off with these 5. Let's see what we think. They say that number 1, the ideal room for sleep is cool and dark. So, if we want to improve our environment we're sleeping in, can we adjust the temperature of the room that we're sleeping in so we can get a better night's sleep? Can we adjust the amount of light, that is coming into the room so that we are able to sleep in a nice dark room, for example? Okay. So there's some opportunities to make that 1% change, a new set of blinds, or just being, mindful of the temperature and setting that appropriately at night on your thermostat can make it more comfortable, get a better night's sleep. Number 2, peace and quiet make the bedroom bliss. So, think about all those noises and distractions that might be out there that can be eliminated. Bedding and sleep position that's best for you. So maybe just looking into things that can improve the bed, to make it more comfortable. Is it time to get a new pillow? Is it your blankets are falling off the bed all the time and things like that. So just kind of looking at the overall bedding situation. Number 4, decluttering the bedroom. So, it should be a place that is relaxing and calm. And so if you have a lot of things all over the place going on and it's a busy environment, then there's an opportunity there. Picking the perfect pillow for you. So pillow fill is important to consider. So this one, I think I already mentioned getting a new pillow, but this might be one that we can do. And I'll throw in one myself as well, which could be a new pair of pajamas, flannel pajamas. Maybe those are nice and comfy for you as well. Okay, so 5 ways to wind down for a better sleep at the end of your day. Music can soothe us. Dim the lights when you're at home at night. Consider limiting caffeine or alcohol later in the day. So I think the half-life on caffeine is about 4 to 6 hours or something like that. So if you back up from your bedtime 4 or 6 hours, let's go six to 8 hours, then we should be cutting off that caffeine, right? So noontime, 1 p.m., absolutely at the latest, would be the last time that you should be having caffeine, for example, right? So it's an easy one to make that adjustment. Your caffeine would be early in the day, not later in the day. Expose yourself to some natural light outdoors if possible in the morning and earlier in the day. Get outside, get that sunshine, and that is also going to help us as well. And guess what? Generally, that's free. You can go outside, get a walk. It's not going to cost you anything. That's a 1% change, right? Every day, get out, get a little sunshine. Ramp down your evening emails. Ooh, boy, that was tough. So, put away the phone. Let's set a bedtime alarm at the end of the day. So once that goes off, we gotta put away the emails and the other kinds of things and burning the candle at both ends, right? Okay, so last 5 things on sleep. Suggestions to help us to de-stress and sleep better. Try some gentle yoga poses before bedtime. So these are things we can add into our bedtime routine. Start a gratitude list each day. So gratitude and feeling of well-being, things that you're thankful for can really help to create a positive environment. And when we're creating that reward of that gratitude and thinking about those blessings, then when we wake up in the morning, we can look forward to those kinds of things, right? So we're going to sleep better that way. Bathe before bedtime, nice warm bath or shower. Read yourself a bedtime story. Get some headspace, and this is their app. All right, guys. So we looked at overall sleep. So now what I want to do is take a look at this. I haven't actually looked at these 25 tips. So we're going to look at these together. Let me zoom in a little bit more so we can actually see what they've got. I don't want to sign up. So 25 tips to make our diet healthier. I'll give you my reaction on these 25, and I'll try to pull out, we probably won't go over all 25, but I'm going to pull out the ones that are aligned with my beliefs and thinking as far as how we can improve our nutrition. So number 1, slowing down. Yeah, sure. Eating on the go and not really being mindful while we eat can lead to less optimal results. Choosing whole grain bread instead of refined. So that's a simple change. If you're eating refined white bread all the time, think about just taking that one small step to include whole grains. That's a 1% change. Add Greek yogurt to your diet. Okay, if you don't have a good breakfast routine or snack routine, Greek yogurt can be a good option. Now there's one called 000, and that means it doesn't have added sugar, and it doesn't have artificial sweeteners, and it doesn't have the what was the third thing? Fat. So, it's an easy way to add protein to your diet, and that's a 1% change. Don't shop without a list. So when you're going to the grocery store, have a list prepared in advance. And that way we're not impulse buying and just buying and filling up the cart with things we don't need, right? So if it's things we don't need, it's calories we don't need and additives we don't need and so on. So shop with a list would be another way to say it. Number 5 says eat eggs, preferably for breakfast. I found eggs to be pretty helpful in my diet, and it's an easy thing to add. Plus, it's going to give you a combination of protein and fat, which if you believe that we're overeating carbohydrates in the American diet, then adding eggs is going to be the antidote for that, right? So it's going to give us the protein and the fat. Increase your protein intake or eat protein with every meal would be another way to say that. And balance across those macronutrients, protein, fat, and carbs. Drink enough water. Easy to make that 1% change, right? So let's focus on the water, the hydration, and things like that. That's a small change, and that can help us to be more mindful overall. Bake or roast instead of grilling and frying. Let's see what else we got in here. Take omega-3 and vitamin D. I just want to find some things that really stand out here. Replace your favorite fast food restaurant. Okay. So there might be a great replacement for your favorite burger or pizza joint. Look, if you know that you have a guilty fast food pleasure, you can upgrade that, right? So maybe it's somewhere else with a more healthy option. And an example of that is one that maybe I would make myself. Instead of maybe going and getting a burger, I could instead go to Kava and get a nice grain bowl or greens and grain bowl, for example. Try at least one new healthy recipe per week. Easy to do, right? We have a lot of recipes on our website that are available to you. So you can go there and pick out and try one new recipe a week. Okay. Choose baked potatoes over French fries. Eat your greens first. Eat your fruits instead of drinking them. This is very helpful, right? So or let's say lean toward the whole foods versus the processed foods. And when we process our fruits, then we're removing fiber and making it more easy for the body to digest very quickly and get a sugar rush, which is something we want to avoid. Cook at home more often. That's actually a really good one. Now, I don't know when this list was written. It might have been pre-pandemic, and I think we might be like ordering out, right? So if you're getting meals delivered a lot, look at the possibility of instead getting food prep items delivered or groceries delivered, where you can then make your meals yourself. Okay. Become more active, something we certainly are practicing as CrossFitters, and being active and being true to our desire and goals to be active and to get those workouts every day. Replace sugary beverages with sparkling water. This is a nice, I like this one because if you really think about it, when we are drinking those sugary beverages, it's not because of the sugar that we're drinking, it's because we want a refreshment, right? And we can get that same refreshing taste from sparkling water. And there's a lot that are, gently flavored and they don't have the added sugar. Super cool. So easy way to go. And you can just make that one small change. That's a 1% change. We could just do that one thing. Stay away from diet foods. Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of sus in the diet foods. Get a good night's sleep. We already talked about that one. Eat fresh berries instead of dried ones. Okay. Choose popcorn over chips. Choose healthy oils. So what are healthy oils? Highly processed seeds and vegetable oils have become a household staple. Haha. But those are the ones we're really going to be suspect. These include soybean, cottonseed, sunflower, and canola oils. Bad. So instead look at extra virgin olive oil, avocado oil, and coconut oil. These are my three mainstays. So for oils. Eat from smaller plates. Easy to do. Oh my gosh, a 1% change. You can do it. Instead of having that, if you got these big dinner plates and you're using that for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks and everything else, just downsize that plate and it's going to look better and it's going to taste better and you won't be eating as much. Get the salad dressing on the side or just skip the salad dressing or make your own salad dressing. Drink your coffee black. That means, the idea there is that, a lot of additives that we're putting in our coffee are basically those adding in things that we really shouldn't be having. So just go black. That's the way Coach Bob drinks it. That's how we should all be drinking it. Okay. So the bottom line, completely overhauling your diet all at once can be a recipe for disaster. And that brings us full circle back to where we started, right? So we looked at the aggregation of marginal gains. And it really was a concept of making these small incremental changes over a long time and being consistent and true to that versus an all or nothing approach and trying to make big drastic changes. Hey guys, thank you so much for joining me today as we are working together to be the best CrossFitters we could be in 2022. Take care and have a good day. Bye now.